Welcome to another episode of Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, I continue my trek through the world of The Challenge for the first time with Season 2 of The Challenge USA. Episode 7 is here, and it is a jam-packed episode. Before we dive in, just a reminder that The Challenge has moved to one episode a week moving forward throughout the rest of the season. That being said, make sure to check out my YouTube page. I've been making Love and Reality podcast or Love and Reality content just for my YouTube by covering Fight to Survive and the Challenge USA right here on exclusively on my YouTube. That being said, make sure to check out the Love and Reality podcast as well, where recently I've broken down the ultimatum, the season finales of Temptation Island. We've got a couple interviews coming up as well. And then, of course, we are less than a month away from the next season of Love is Blind. Very, 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 very excited to dive into that. But without further ado, let's jump back into the Challenge USA Season 2, Episode 7. Of course, we see that Wes moving to the blue team is really going to ruffle some feathers, right? Wes comes in, kind of gives a speech to everyone, says he wants everybody to give him a chance. Fessy said that he was moping around like someone was about to die. Hashtag facts. Alyssa S says she brought in, Alyssa S bought into what Wes was spewing while Josh said he wasn't. Cassidy hugs and says, truce to Wes. And as soon as he walks away, she makes a weird face. And then, of course, this leads to Michaela and Wes having words. After they argue back and forth for a minute or 10, we have Alyssa S and Tyler who are mucking it up together. This is very much a theme of the episode, which again goes to prove that if you are paying attention to the fine line of certain things, you know what's going to go down in these episodes, or at least get an idea of who is going to be nominated and who is going to take on these individuals in the challenge. All right. Our first challenge of the day is here. Two people will be it's called Wreck and Roll is the name of the challenge. Two people will be inside a sphere, and they will use the sphere to smash things. They have tires on them. Once they smash the tires, the tires fall off, and the rest of their team must retrieve these tires and bring them to this station where they have a puzzle. They have to spell out 10 words. The first team to spell out the 10 words wins the competition, and then, of course, gets to nominate two people. The players in the spheres, if you're thinking like the little rolling game that was inside American Gladiator, same thing here in some aspects. Blue team, Fessy and Tori. Red team, Josh and Chanel. And then, of course, Alyssa and Monty, the green team. These are the guys that are inside the spheres. We get a joke by Banana that said he is good at Scrabble. He's a Scrabble champion, but against his nieces and nephews. Why would it not surprise me that Bananas just absolutely shreds his nieces and nephews at games? Like, that just seems like a very Bananas thing to do. Out the gate, teams are kind of struggling to carry the tires once they are knocked down. The blue team, they take the lead early on, and they get all 16 out of the gate, and the green and red are closely behind. Like, this wasn't a competition that was very, like, before we get to the puzzle station, it was very close. Like, all three teams knocked down all 16 of these, or all the puzzle pieces and tires, really fast. Like, they got all of them pretty fast out of the gate. But what happened was it was the translation of getting them from where they were knocked out up this hill to be able to get to the puzzle, to be able to start putting together the puzzle. And this was insane because once they get to the puzzle, red team takes forever to get the puzzles up there. Michelle kind of gets the ball rolling. Michaela on the green team is fighting with strong words. And then, of course, the blue team just absolutely destroys everybody. I mean, red wasn't even close to getting like one or two words. Green had a few of them, but blue team just destroyed everybody. It was kind of embarrassing how bad they beat everybody. Tiffany isn't thrilled. Neither is anyone on the green team. Theme throughout the show, lots of Tiffany talking, which means you know what. Josh is dipping in, trying to target Survivor girls, heads to talk to the blue team about it. They said they have that he has the votes in order. Fessy says that he's happy that he's able to play both sides. Tiffany's talking to everyone how she's struggling to fit into the competition. Banana says, and then of course it's voting time. And you see Desi just kind of sit there and take everything on the chin because we've got team vets and there's too many here that are outnumbering these folks. So Banana says Michaela's done him dirty in the past, so that's who he's voting for. Tori and Wes kind of follow suit. Desi's freaking out because everyone's tossing in Michaela. On to the men. Tyler is the man of the moment. The vets running the show at the vote at the table. So boom, 1-2. There you go. Michaela comes after Josh for saying that it was his idea. Everyone is throwing the game in their direction. You know what I mean? Like everybody's sitting here, hey, don't vote for me, or hey, you should throw this person's name in there so my name doesn't get in there. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of game playing here. The crew is out and about, and we have Bananas and Wes, and as Alyssa said, the two drunk uncles talking about Tyler. They talk up Tyler to Alyssa, saying that he likes her, and of course she likes him. And they say that they're going to tell Tyler that it's going to be all guys nominated in the hopper unless he kisses Alyssa, which it was fun, lighthearted moment that we really don't get a whole lot of on this show. Just the team having fun, everybody having fun. So they bring Tyler on over and they pitch it to Wes and Bananas, pitch it to Tyler. Tyler comes over to Alyssa, the two make out. Banana and Wes are having the time of their life. As Alyssa said, they're like two drunk uncles just cheering and cheering and cheering that these two are doing their thing. We get back to the bedroom. These two are lovey-dovey, kissy-kissy. But, it's kind of short-lived. They're like, well, we know the cameras are here, blah, 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 blah. So it is time to enter the arena. We've got a basketball hoop with some balls hanging from there. It was definitely interesting. The votes went as followed, which was definitely interesting. This kind of ended up having a few more men votes than I anticipated. But Tiffany had 2 votes. Wasn't thrilled by that. Monty had 1. Alyssa S. had 1. Josh had 1. Corey had 1. And Chanel had 4. We got 3 men's balls and 7 women's balls heading into the hopper to see who will take on either Tyler or Michaela. TJ announces that Michaela will be playing tonight, and of course Alyssa is happy because her man Tyler is not going home, which was weird because he didn't announce who Michaela was facing yet, so it could have been her. But Michaela versus Tiffany. Chanel like literally had her hands up ready to go into battle because she had 4 votes. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 8, 10. So there's 10 balls, and so Tiffany had a 20% chance while Chanel had a 40% chance, and it didn't matter. Tiffany ended up in the competition. Tiffany comes out preaching about how the men on the show are targeting these women, and of course Josh speaks up. Tiffany yells at him, which was funny as hell. Things kind of get ugly before the battle. All right, so the name of the game is Top Heavy. 2 giant beams in the arena. Each of our contestants will be strapped to this thing. They have to shift their weight, grab these balls, and shoot them in the basket. The first person to make 10 baskets wins the game. They have a little bit of rain coming down as well. I don't know if it was like real rain or if it was like staged rain. Couldn't figure it out. Really, one way or another, there's rain. Michaela got the first point, followed by the second point and the third point and the fourth point before Tiffany even had one. Tiffany seems terrified. She seemed terrified on that platform. This was just, it was just a beating of all beatings. I mean, Tiffany isn't remotely close to getting 1 in. Michaela has 5. It was pretty hilarious. The route is on. Tiffany finally nails one, and the entire cast and even TJ go wild for her. We get some funny commentary between each of these where Tiffany's talking about it. She said she felt like an elementary kid versus LeBron James, which is actually quite hilarious. Michaela won 10-1. Michaela's happy because last time that she was in the challenge circle there in the arena, she had lost. So she's now 1-1 in eliminations. Michaela, now, of course, obviously we know Tiffany's going home. This is whenever you win the competition, you are heading in and you have the opportunity to join a different team, kick somebody else off a different team. So we see Michaela tell the cameras that she wants to join the blue team and kick Tori off and move her to the green team. However, TJ announces that there's other plans and sends her back to the green team. He says they've been building as a team, but now there are no more teams. From this day forward, is every man and woman for themselves. The next challenge will be an individual challenge. I didn't know when this was going to happen. I was trying to figure out, I have the list of all the competitors. I just don't remember everybody that's been eliminated, but we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. And I mean, we're looking at probably, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's about 6. So there's about 15 or 16 people left, I'd say. And now it's getting down to the every man for himself. And there's a lot of people. Alyssa S she was complaining because she's like worried because, you know, this is a physical competition and now you can't hide behind your highest of high teammates. Even Tori said that this game is about to get rough and those who are aren't athletically capable should be scared. And it's definitely interesting. This is my first journey into the show, but I mean, the preview for next week's episode looks like a barn burner. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. How will Michaela handle going back into the house? We're going to get the aftermath of that. What does that first challenge look like for each of our teams? You know, individually, how is that going to come into play? Who's going to be eliminated? Who's going to be our first solo elimination? How are people going to play the game without teams now? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm very, very excited. Kind of happy they've moved to one episode a week. Kind of takes alleviate a little pressure off here, but also because, you know, this one's coming in just a day late on the recap. But thank you guys so much for listening to another episode, and I'll talk to you guys next week.